went through everything from it's obviously odds collection, and we've always focused on more the tech side of it and doing that very well. We set up basically an operation to collect data in Asia, and that brought basically in-play betting into Europe. We collect everything as much as possible and store it, and we have a very nice big data application which just stored everything we've ever collected. It's just underpinned on quality of the data that you're getting, and then you have to rely on it, and then you can build out from it, and that's kind of where we come in.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sports Betting Conversations. Today we're joined by Einar Knobel from TxODDS. Einar, welcome to our podcast. Please tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Russell. Well, I'm originally from Norway, hence the name, but I grew up in England. Started TxODDS with some partners in my late 20s. I don't know, say I had quite an interesting 20s. I wasn't very settled down, and this was sort of first thing that we did seriously. Now, I was working at a online bookmaker at the time when everyone was going online, and I sort of thought it'd be a good idea to work on the internet side of things, just when still had dial-ups, and there were very sort of simple websites out there. And we were using, everyone sort of worked in the industry was using this website called oddscomparison.com, which was very mysterious. It was there was a lot of data there. You could tell it was good. And my then boss, we sort of talked to him, we should do something here because, let's he was quite entrepreneurial, and let's see if we can get in touch with these people, and see if we can maybe do something, start a business. And we did manage to get this person out. There was a 19-year-old Finnish guy who hadn't left his bedroom very much, and with an interest in collecting odds. And so we got him over, and we basically put a business case together and went for it. And that's kind of it. And 25 years later, I'm here. I've lived a few places, but back in London, and we just opened operations in Chicago as well. It just come from. So it's a pretty exciting time for us. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, for the great background. Very interesting path to where you are today. So tell us a little about TxODDS. Like, what do they do today? Like, yeah.
Yeah, so we went through everything from, it's obviously odds collection, and we've always focused on more the tech side of it and doing that very well. So initially it was all pre-match. So you had a few hundred bookies. So this was the days when you had the offshores going. This was Antigua. There was operations opening in Asia and all around Europe. So it was blossoming, and we basically had a business that we sold subscriptions. But then one day, a customer said, "Could we get an API, because we want this information into our Excel sheets?" And we did, and that transformed the business amazingly. And so we kind of split off into having an API service, which has become to dominate. And then there was a main changing point was when in Asia it's basically for in-play. And I heard people were putting people into grounds and calling on the phone. It was called Danger Ball. So basically, you'd have someone screaming "Danger, danger!" when there was a player got near the ball. But that created the whole in-play market, and it was around 2006 when that came on, and we had basically a developer in China called Tao, and he had a great product for collecting this. So we set up basically an operation to collect data in Asia, and that brought basically in-play betting into Europe. So and from that was the most liquid market that they used, and this was then used to power sports books throughout England. So, and then into Europe. So we're sort of on the tech side, we've just been, it's just bringing fast market data together. We focus around that, and then after that, it's been honing the product, odds only, and then with basically with the work in Chicago is that we've gone in stadium. We selected like college data because it's by all accounts open source. There aren't any particular rights considerations at the moment, and we've been able to cover complete sport end to end. So it's just adding a different vertical, but so it fits in with basically scores and odds, everything you need to power a sports book.
So you collect more than odds data. Do you also kind of do similar statistics collection or provide statistics like a Sport Radar or Genius or?
Well, I mean, it's collect you collect all of that, but and by you can infer statistics from all the data that's collected. But we've always been we collect everything as much as possible and store it, and we have a very nice big data application which just stored everything we've ever collected, and there's an API that can do that. So you can basically go and process, all the opening prices, closing prices, in-play prices, everything that's tick by tick through that whole period. And there's a retrievable API for that. So, if you're looking to kind of come and start your own models, start your own sportsbook, do risk management, and you can buy a data set from us that can prepare you. That's got all the mainstream books on it, and then basically use that for trading. Well, trading your book basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And which sports do you cover? Like all the US sports, and I
Oh
assume.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a volume game. So
Right.
with and we help enable automation. So soccer is obviously massive around the world, and I don't know, we cover 150,000 matches or something. It's a lot, but basically from the Premier League right down into the low tail, like the long end.
Mhm.
And then obviously in the US, NFL, massive turnover. It's short season though, so soccer's all year round. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the primary difference. And then you got college football and college basketball, but there's action all the time. And tennis, and generally, we're dictated by volume. So whatever there's a lot of volume on, then there's a robust market. The prices tend to be strong, and they'll come to us. But also for the more long tail stuff. So when I started, they used to have odds makers who'd have opinions. They'd read the newspaper. They'd have faxes sent to them. There'd be a lot less there, but you can't do that. And so basically you got teams instead. You get the price feeds in, you get data, and basically, the trader's role is much more now a case of just monitoring what's going on, looking at some sort of key accounts, but generally it's automating everything 24/7. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You talked about the US.
Hmm.
Can you talk about like that that danger now with the AI? Like how, so now you're looking at from the old bookmark days, right? From your old days to now what AI is doing, especially we're living through we're shooting this during March Madness.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing maybe this year even versus last year, and as far as volume and the impact of AI on your business right now.
Yeah, well, AI, well, I'll get on, but the first back to the danger. So what we're
Yeah.
really reporting from go to March Madness. So it's just having the being able to send signals which are the quickest back to the customers who have sports books. Now we're there may be people in there, in any stadium who are actually watching what's going on, and they can bet that match. We're actually helping the sports book. If you get the fastest data, then no one's going to beat you on the price. You're not going to hang. And that's kind of where TX was all the time with the Asian market as well. So you don't get caught out by a price move. Now here you've got signals that say, there's whatever is deemed as important, and we can relay that information back straight away, and the bookmaker can feel basically in charge. What they're getting here is as fast as possible, and therefore they're in charge of the market. And then with the rich data they can also offer more, like things like play-by-play markets. There's the richness of data just allows to innovate, but at the core of it, you got to trust the data set that you're being sent. So, and then on top of that, AI. Well, that's you need a very robust and data set to work from, really. But I mean, the pricing itself, there are models that are based around like time-based or score-based, etc. And then you got the market, what's actually going on. So you need a combination of both. So whether it's machine learning or AI, somewhere in between. But it's still early days for AI, but it's very, very interesting where this can go, obviously.
Have you seen even a difference from, let's say you were focused this year with your team in Chicago on the football, the NCAA football, to basketball, and how fast the market is changing, and maybe how bettors are betting, or that coveted Gen Z audience, that 18 to 25 guys that are betting now, especially in college? Are you seeing a change, like a shift right now as far as speed?
I'd like to sort of cite Simple Bet as as an early innovator for the play-by-play, and that needs much more granular data that's delivered more quickly. So that's play-by-play, and so we actually took that, what they did, and they went out and here's what we need to do this. So we took that as the bar to start with, and we also then get feedback from customers as to what they'd like to see or what's important to them when we try to integrate that into the product. So come next season, when this is truly in the market, you're going to see a lot more of this rich data in college sports that will just enable the bookies to offer more and more markets that sort of suit what they think the players might want as well. And and the players get a better deal as well, because they get more choice, and they feel it's connected to the match.
And from a technology perspective, it sounds like scalability is key, right, to your product success. Can you talk about kind of the thought process in terms of ensuring your infrastructure can handle the volume and the delivery that's required?
Yes. So with so with the odds, I mean, the tech team chose Scala, actually, which is all about scalability. I'm not sure that's the kind of in language anymore at the moment, but it's built for that. We've always been very tech heavy. I mean, we focus on the back end and like delivering APIs. Our CTO, it's called Alex Kozlenkov. He's been very. He sort of took us from like multiple legacy feeds into introducing a push feed, and then we've built that into something which we call Fusion, which is it's a delivery platform that's across multiple locations. It's on the cloud. It's very scalable out, and it's just all about literally delivering odds data, which is there's billions of updates that we pump through, and then you can also do processing on that. We have things like synthetic pricing, which are dynamic sort of moving averages, rule-based, etc., and then third parties that we can send through. So something like scores for us is it's an extra vertical. It just fits through basically through the delivery system, and then we have third-party partnerships or very close partnerships. For one of them is a price management system through our partners called Lacerta Sports. That's a UK operation, and that's leveraging their experience of basically pricing and it's just being very active in the sports betting markets very successfully. more, and we're leveraging that and making that available to sportsbooks. Yeah, so
Great. And what were some of the challenges you encountered during your growth and expansion? You,
yeah, it's suppose it's you got to be always on, so there's no downtime. I mean, even that, you can't afford any downtime. So um, it being down for I don't know, a couple of minutes, you know about it, right? You should know about it first, but your customers will be onto you, um, and so at any point, anything you do, you have to maintain this uptime. There's sports on all the time. I mean, when you basically run something that people can automate from, and maybe they made decisions that we're going to run off this, and we no longer have the amount of human input that we would have done. They expect it to work, expect uptime, and then there's the quality. Like things have changed. We use a variety of ways, whether it's like direct integrations with partners or sportsbooks, or we will go and source data ourselves. They just expect it to fit. You can't have dirt in the system, so you got to spend a lot of time basically make sure that data quality is high. So I mean, we're using AI internally on things like data quality, even for live scores. Is that does this look like a scout to you? Is this the expected behavior? I mean, it's more on data quality is key for us. Uptime. And then speed, so you can't slow down, because after a certain amount of time, it just loses value. And, a certain amount of time, it has no use to the customer whatsoever. And we can't justify being in business. So,
yeah, especially the in play.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
great. Um, so from kind of a looking forward perspective, like how do you see the market evolving in the United States, for example, because that's what Kevin and I are focused on,
Right.
um, and probably more interest to our audience. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, I just came back from Chicago, and I say this to everyone. I mean, it's like sports have replaced rolling news, so sports everywhere, and you can gabble on it. It's great. I mean, there's always something there, and it's massively popular, of course. But I see, obviously, in play, it's possibly not where it will, but that will keep growing. For operators, automation possibilities. It's much more. The customer will vote with their money where they choose to go, who they choose to play with. There's innovation. Are there bet types that customers like? I mean, in the last few years, I mean, same game parlays are huge. That's a massive revenue gen, and people like it. Now, where I come from, with the background is much more, price sensitivity. There's, it's just more old school of changing prices, but that still exists. You need solid pricing at the bottom of it, and then as with volume, it's things like price management and who manages your prices. That can become more like a commodity. So, company X can manage pricing for, let's say, NFL, and this one does basketball, etc. And you get specialization, but I definitely think, it's just underpinned on quality of the data that you're getting, and then you can, you have to rely on it, and then you can build out from it, and that's kind of where we come in.
It's interesting. Do you look at, especially go back to the US? So you got football, NCAA football, basketball, big priorities. Have you looked at like what's baseball on the roadmap? Because I was at a presentation where they were talking about the number of bets in a baseball game, potential and in play, down to the, is he going to throw a slider or a fastball? All those kind of things. Do you see that as an opportunity on your roadmap as well?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the baseball, there is a very good feed in place by the MLB that it's got everything there. So,
Right.
but potentially, is there anything we could do to add to? Is there a data set that we could create there? is there perhaps we mentioned college, perhaps we should look at college baseball.
Right. Yeah.
That's maybe you're being underserved, and then we can go in there. I kind of
And
think
softball on the women's side.
Yeah. So we'll listen to the clients as well, but that's kind of on our. I mean, our agenda would like to be obviously cover everything that's popular in the US, but with let's say NFL and NBA, there are obviously rights holders in place already, and the MLB's got this, so we'll respect rights, and maybe just be the college experts. That was around the office last week, so and I think that sits quite well. So that can be
good.
Oh, great. Any closing comments, Einar, you'd like to give us?
No. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for joining us. It's interesting.
Yeah. Thank you as well. We appreciate it.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you.